Hello and howdy ho everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Full Story Playthrough. I'm Foxy Games. When we last left off, we found this beautiful place, Tamamizu, and we've linked back up with Soraban. And he is going to help us get rid of the Kojin of the Red, or at least get them out of the employ of the Garleans for a while. May this bargain be the first of many between our peoples. Yes, of course. Oh, goodbye, Ludos. Whatever it is we've got to do, we'll do it, right? I mean, what other choice do we have? 1,000 gods found within the great and the small. Rather different from Eorzea and her 12, but I have heard of stranger things. In some lands, for instance, men refuse to acknowledge the existence of all but a single god. Yeah, perish that thought. Listen well, my friends. We require your assistance with the search for a priceless treasure, the Yasakani no Magatama. This jewel, this most sacred of Kojin relics, was in the possession of Hingashi, until they decided to present it to the Garleans in a gesture of conciliation. The Red would not abide this, and so they plotted to seize the vessel bearing it to their imperial masters. Alas, though they succeeded, in the ensuing chaos, the Magatama was lost to the sea. I mean, you're turtles, you can just find it, right? We wish to recover the sacred jewel before our brothers. However, were we to come into conflict with them, it would be problematic. Therefore, we turn to you. So you want us to search the ocean floor for this treasure of yours? I'm not sure how we're supposed to do that without, you know... drowning? Fear not, there is a ritual I can perform to imbue your bodies with a powerful blessing. But first, you must prepare offerings for the sea. I require twisted ruby coral, several fist-sized sea snail shells, and a freshly harvested unkyu carapace. That's quite the shopping list. I'll see to the shells, and Lise can look for the coral. Foxy, would you go and find an unkyu and relieve it of its carapace? You know I can. Just one question. The hell's an unkyu? Do take care when killing the unkyu not to damage its carapace too much. I'll try, but I have a sword. I'm not out there casting spells. Nice manta ray, good sir. She is adorable, yes she is. One day this little girl is going to be the savior of these seas. The manta ray? I mean, it is pretty cute. I'm not gonna lie. Manta rays are pretty cute. I am praying for the Kami for luck since I'm about to leave on a treasure hunt. Would you like to join me? I don't think I can. Not yet. Haha! Take a look at this! Is it not magnificent? I can see that you want it. For the right price, I might be willing to part with it. I don't want that junk. I mean, that looks kinda neat, but the rest of this shit? Nah. Have you too come to offer up your prayers? Well, prayers to what? What is this? Just the symbol for the Kami? I don't know. Did I already talk to the porter here? I must have. Yes. Alright. I have to go kill an unkyu, which is apparently all the way back at the top of the mountain. Island, mountain, thing, whatever. Alright. The one complaint I have about this place is that... God, getting in and out of it is just... it takes so long. Oh yeah, in the last episode I said that looking at this gives me PTSD. That's because there's a jump puzzle associated with it, I think. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you have to do it for an ether current. Yeah, it's not a fun quest. Knowing me, I'll get it done right away, and I'll be doing just fine in it, but just to prove myself wrong. Let's get Ludos back. Dead. I'm gonna go get all the ether currents that I can, but you guys won't have to watch that. I'm sorry, but what the fuck are you? That is a nightmare. Some of the monster designs in this game are spoopy beyond measure. Well, have you the Unkyo carapace, whatever? Perhaps one day we will live in a world in which poor Unkyo need not be slaughtered for Kojin rituals, but today is not that day. I mean, it's a crab. How splendid they are! The kami shall be most pleased, I am sure. I got it! I got the ruby coral you wanted. And I the sea snail shells. They're about the size of my fist, though I realize now you may have meant yours. These shall more than suffice for our purpose. Next we must make ready to present them to the sea and perform the ritual. Once it has been completed, you will be able to move freely through the depths and find the Yasakani no Magatama. Out of curiosity, how large is this sacred jewel of yours? Unless it's far too large to be carried by the three of us, how are we even supposed to find it? The Ruby Sea is not exactly small. Ha ha ha! Surely you realize you've been searching this whole time. The area we wish you to explore is but a small fraction of the Ruby Sea. Already we have scoured most of the seabed near and within our territory to no avail. All that remains is the region to the west. The shellless of Suino Sato can provide you with better guidance than we. You would do well to visit them first. Shellless? You mean the Kojin aren't the only ones living under the sea? Of course not. The Rain have been there as long as I can remember. Shiosai, the overseer I believe, can tell you more when you arrive. But we are getting ahead of ourselves. We have yet to carry out the ritual. Indeed. Well, we can't use this, but we will look at it. That looks kind of nice. And those both look kind of nice, but we cannot use them, so... Blap. I can hardly wait. Quite how this blessing is supposed to keep us from drowning remains to be seen. Are you ready, my friends, to explore a world unlike any you have ever known? Then let us go to the western part of the village, where the water twists and turns, and there complete our preparations for the ritual. Yes, let's do exactly that. You don't want to go back there, oh dear. This is the place, right? I'm not sure I like the look of that whirlpool. He dove into the water a moment ago and said to wait here until he returned.
It is done. Your offerings have been given to the sea. The ritual can begin at last. Come and stand before me, my friends. Yes, yes. Listen to my words, and let all else wash away. Listen to my words, and feel them flow into your heart. At first a trickle, then a flood. O kami of the fathomless waters of the fallen, the ascended, the flowing, and the becalmed, caretakers of the shallows and of the depths, receive of us our meager offerings, cleanse these ones of earth and stone, and grant them your blessing, that they might drink deep of the divine. The ritual is complete, my friends. You may now breathe in the depths as you would upon land.
Strange. I don't feel any different. Are you sure it worked?
Reasonably. The blessing does have its limits, of course. While it will allow you to dwell in the depths, it will not help you traverse them.
I can swim well enough. How about you, Alize?
Oh, like a fish, in contrast to my doggy-paddling brother. Somehow, the boy just isn't very buoyant.
Skilled or no, your bodies are ill-suited to the sea. Your cause demands alacrity, and you shall have it. But first, let us take to the water.
Incredible! I could swear I was breathing air.
Now I shall summon for you noble steeds of great strength.
Oh yeah, manta rays.
Wow, look at them! I bet they could take us all the way to the deepest depths of the sea.
And so they may. After we've won over the Confederacy, rescued Kosetsu, and liberated your respective homelands.
Should you become parted from your steeds, return to me, and I shall call them again. Take care, my friends, and may the Kami speed you on your way.
We'll find that treasure in no time, come on!
Well, let's go for a ride on the back of a manta ray. Okay, owing to Soroban's blessing, you may now dive into deep water and stay submerged indefinitely. Underwater settlements like Tamamizu and Sato can be accessed via circular portals. To leave deep water, you need only swim towards the surface. Conversely, to dive into deep water while swimming on the surface, press Control plus spacebar. And of course, speak to Soroban again if you get separated from your mount. We don't need this, I know how to do it. Also, I like this sitting pose here. It's very, very relaxed. So, I find it kind of irritating that you have to, like, go back to Soroban if you get off your mount. That's kind of silly, but eh. Like, here, I'm gonna have to get off of it. And that means if I want to go get it again, I have to go back to fucking Tamamizu. Whatever. I'll admit I had my doubts, but this is a blessing worthy of the name. One cannot help wondering what other magics the Kojin possess. Swimming under the water is pretty cool, I will say. I know we just kind of went in and out, but there's not too much to see there. This must be Suino's Sato, the Rain village Soroban told us about. Right then, let's see if they can't help us find the Kojin's missing jewel. Indeed, well, we can't use these. That's a bayonet. It's called... It's a gunbreaker thing. Oh, that's the thinnest gunblade I've ever seen. Huh. You may now perform underwater emotes. Lovely. We don't get a new weapon yet. Oh, new shield, though. Eh, looks okay. If this is Suino Sato, then Shiosai, the overseer, should be around here somewhere. I dare say one of the locals will be able to point us in his direction. Though, now that I look around, I get the distinct impression we are not welcome here. Uh-oh. People not happy with our presence. There's not even a fucking falcon porter here. Oh well. Hi. Is there anything I might help you with, madam? Sure, tell me about yourself. I am Sasanami. I serve under Shiosai, the High Priest of Shishui of the Violet Tides. My duties include drafting the necessary paperwork for courtly functions in the village, as well as writing letters and arranging meetings. Whenever the High Priest is too busy to do so himself, I will also attend to the needs of his beloved otter, Isobe. Oh, that's adorable. Long ago we, the Rayan, were driven from our ancestral home. Our forefathers sought refuge here under the sea, and thus the humble but peaceful village of Suino Sato came into existence. We are ruled by the Ruby Princess. Few besides those who serve at the royal courts, however, know her face, and even they seldom see her in person. Currently, Her Highness is carrying out a private ceremony of sorts. All, including her most trusted advisors, have been barred from entering or exiting the palace. Interesting. So they've got their own little society going on under here. And they're all Ari. Well, the Rayan are, of course. And Aura... type? Culture? I don't know. Hey, miss, what's the surface like? Is it a nice place, or is it scary? Do you have seaweed that grows up to the skies, or do you have... that's cute. Let's see, we don't need a merchant. Has something happened at Shishui of the Violet Tides? Rarely are we kept informed of the ongoings of the castle. I mean, none of us even know what our own ruler, the Ruby Princess, looks like. Well, that's suspicious. Alice. Sorban called him the Overseer. One can only assume he is some sort of leader in the community. Yes, indeed. Well, I'd say that your name is mine, but it's probably Mine. The Kojin of the Red had become even more aggressive of late. It has caused our people no end of trouble. If only they were a bit more like their amicable cousins in Tamamizu, perhaps we would not have to suffer so. Well... Alice, or was it Lise, got the impression that we weren't welcome, but everybody's been friendly so far. If I may ask, what brings you to our humble village, madam? It's not every day that we receive visitors from the surface. Yeah, everybody's been really friendly. In a place like this, it's hard to tell where the important people live. I mean, everywhere has a sea view. That is true. I am currently in the middle of delegating fishing tasks. Unless what you have to say is of great import, pray come and find me later. Even being dismissive, these people are friendly. I don't know where they got the impression we weren't welcome. Oh dear. What have my sons done this time? Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I could have sworn there were at least 2 fish left on this line. Did someone sneak off with them? Fish thieves. I mean, you could practically reach out and grab a fish in this place. I don't know why you would ever think of stealing one. More kids. It is my dream to one day meet the Ruby Princess. I bet she's beautiful. Have you ever met her, miss? Nope. I don't know who this Ruby Princess is. I suppose we'll find out. Isobe. Oh, it's an actual otter. You then must be Shiosai. So, this is our man? Leave this place and never return. We have no need of wide-eyed wanderers. Okay, there's the route we were expecting. Sorry, I didn't mean to stare. My name is Lise, and these are my friends Foxy and Alice. We're looking for the overseer of Suino Sato Shiosai. That's you, isn't it? The Kojin of the Blue sent you hither, did they? I'm no overseer, nor would I ever claim to be one. I am the High Priest of Shisui of the Violet Tides, Shiosai. So you are the man we're looking for. Great. We need your help. We're looking for this jewel called the Yasakani no... Stop. I will hear no more. We will suffer no outside troubles in our sanctuary, especially those would-be treasure hunters. Otter. Quiet, Isobe. There will be no dango for dinner. Ahem. I can do naught to aid you. I say to you again, leave this place and never return. At the very least, sir, you might condescend to tell us of your village and of why you are so loath to show us even the most basic courtesy. Suino Sato is our sanctuary. Under the benevolent leadership of the Ruby Princess, sovereign of Shisui, we reign and enjoy humble yet fulfilling lives, but it was not always so. Long ago, our forebears were driven from their ancestral lands. Beneath the waters, they sought refuge from the ravages of war, and here they flourished. All that we are, our culture, our traditions, was born of the sea, as was I. Though we have engaged others in diplomacy, it has ever been with the utmost caution. Isolation and independence are essential to preserving our way of life. So it was when Doma fell 25 years past. The Ruby Princess, in her wisdom, decreed that we would take no part. As it was, so ever shall it be. Forever and ever apart. Forgive me. I understand now how highly you value your way of life and how you will suffer none to endanger it. You may be assured that we have no desire to do so, and I would hope that we have given you no cause to assume otherwise. You have not, but this changes nothing. Regardless of your intentions, it is not my place to break with tradition. I must consider the wishes of all who call Suino Sato home. For me to defy their will and permit outsiders to remain would be a gross betrayal of my responsibilities. Please do not ask this of me. Thank you for your time, sir. I suppose that's a fair way of thinking. I mean, it's not very helpful, but it's fair. Everywhere we go, it's the same. Go away, we don't want any. You'd think I'd be used to it by now, but some stupid part of me just can't help hoping for the best. You still have faith in the world, Lise. That'll change. And so it continues. Another village, another deaf ear. Clearly, Girabanya is not the only place with walls. We're starting to wonder if this is all a huge mistake. Gosetsu couldn't have known it would take this long. I only hope he's still alive. Yeah. Well, this shield is not very good, but we'll take it anyway. Meanwhile, in the taverns of Isari... Speaking of Gosetsu... This guy's real good at hitting people who are tied up. Not so much ones who can fight back.
I tire of this filthy tavern, and it's still filthier clientele.
'Tis scant reward for your treachery, aye. A painted woman of your rich experience deserves a better class of customer.
Oh, name-calling. Is that what we've been reduced to?
Orphan of the Nayuri. Widow of Sashihai. What joy it must have brought you to be revenged upon us all.
Not enough. Not nearly enough. My appetite for your agony is as an abyss. Bottomless. Insatiable. Before you die, you will cry and beg and prostrate yourself upon the earth. You will crawl on your belly through the muck and the piss and debase yourself for my amusement. All of you. But you think you are made of sterner stuff? Rather than have him beat you, mayhap I should have my oaf go and fetch your master's head. Oh, poor Lord Cayenne. Kami rest his soul. Noble leader of a fallen nation. A fine puppet he made for the Viceroy. For a time. 25 years he was content to serve his masters as a dog. And then everyone had to rise up and get themselves killed. Tell me, how did it feel to fail him that day? To live with the disgrace of his death? Not that you were a stranger to living with disgrace, of course. In the what was it? 25 years since you were humiliated and tossed into an imperial jail? You had plenty of time to get used to it. Oh yes, I heard the stories. About the samurai who would do anything to return to his master's side, even if it meant pledging his blade to his sworn enemy. They say he walked with death. That he slew 1,000 men in the Empire's name. Truly a tale for the poets.
I do not deny my sins, but I will not be reproached by the likes of you.
Oh, I mean not to reproach you, but to praise you. You're a survivor, samurai. Just like me. So, let us not dwell on the past, you and I, and instead give thought to the future. To wit, I would ask you again to help me resolve this vexing matter of Doma's missing heir. Living or dead, it makes no difference, really. But the Garleans are most insistent that we put this problem behind us. And I know you helped him flee. So tell me, what became of Lord Hien?
To my dismay, the details escape me at present. Mayhap your dog could jog my memory.
Get on with it, and mark me, brute. There is no limit to how far you can fall.
Of all the bloody stupid... Ah! When I get back to Eorzea, I'm gonna find that little shite, and I'm gonna make her pay.
Oh, Gosetsu is not doing well. He is not doing well at all. We seem to have reached an impasse. And to make matters worse, every solution I could think of will only take more time. I don't suppose you have any ideas, do you, Foxy? Let's see. We could try talking Shiosai round. We could ask the villagers if they know anything. Soroban sent us here, maybe we should ask him. Or we find some red Kojin and encourage them to talk. Let's ask the villagers if they know anything. Right. You are the ones who come from above, yes? If we could have a moment of your time. Mine apologies, I did not mean to startle you. My name is Ihanami, and this is my wife, Unagi. We were wondering, have you any news from Doma? If so, we should like very much to hear it. May I ask why? If you must. Our daughter fought in the rebellion. We've heard naught from her since. It would be too much to hope that you know of her, but her name is Yugiri. What a coincidence. Kami be praised, she lives. She lives. We're looking for her too, actually, but I'm sure she's alright. We had no idea she hailed from Suino Sato. How did she come to serve Doma as a shinobi? It all began when she was a little girl. She and another child crept out of the village, having grown curious about the outside world. To Doma they went, where they met a young boy, a proud son of Yangxia. His tales of imperial oppression left a lasting impression on her. When she returned, she spoke passionately of the Doman's plight and urged us to take the boy in, but my wife and I would not hear of it. We thought the matter closed, but she never forgot his words. She became convinced that the Garleans would one day come for us, and it was in search of the strength to defend us that she left years later to learn the ways of the shinobi. When the then Ruby Princess learned of this, she forbade Yugiri's return, lest she bring misfortune to us all. We protested the judgment, but there was naught we could do, and so our daughter, who wanted only to keep her people safe. Surely there is something we can do for these people, they who gave her aid and succor when no other would. I am but a humble stonemason, but if it is the Yasakani no Magatama you seek, I may yet be of some assistance to you. The jewel is known to possess an unusual property. To the naked eye, it is as jade, but when bathed in a particular light, it shimmers with a divine resplendence. I have mined similar materials before. To find them, one must use these lamps. They cast an invisible light under which the stones sparkle. In the deepest depths, they are invaluable. There is a sunken ship to the east. Though the currents may have spirited her away her cargo, you should begin your search there. Thank you so much. We will do just that. I hope you find what you seek. I only wish there were something more that we could do to assist you. Know that you will always be in my prayers. And, when next you see our daughter, pray tell her not a day goes by that her parents and her brothers do not think of her. We will, I promise. Well, that's quite nice. Yugiri's parents. May the Kami speed you on your journey. I would so dearly like to hear more of your adventures with my daughter, but I understand time is of the essence. Go now and use the lamps as I told you. Ah, but be aware that their light only shines for short periods. Of course. And, while time is of the essence, we do have some quests to do here. We have to speak with this young lady, Kurenai. You're a woman from above? I am Kurenai, sister to the Ruby Princess, the ruler of these seas. Your bearing bespeaks a strength and courage few possess. I have been waiting for one such as yourself to arrive. Though not many know it, the Ruby Princess's life currently hangs on the balance. A few days ago, a man cloaked in black visited Shisui of the Violet Tides. He claimed he had come to bestow a blessing of holy protection upon the palace. A man cloaked in black, you say? Are the Asians at work again? The incantation he muttered instead drew forth a terrible spirit, which took possession of my sister's body. Not long after, similar wraiths of the void began to surge forth, overtaking the palace and stealing the souls of her nearby guards. Shiosai immediately evacuated everyone, and has since barred people from entering or leaving the palace. Officially, the Ruby Princess is conducting a private ceremony. None but Shiosai and I know the truth. We have placed a seal over Shisui of the Violet Tides to prevent any of the wraiths from within from escaping. However, it will not hold for much longer. Shiosai grows more convinced by the hour that we must destroy the dome and everyone within it, including my sister. I beseech you, woman of the land, lend unto me your might. Please find a way to save her. I will see she is kept from danger. Thank you. Truly, I know not what I would have done had you said no. Now please follow me. We must go speak with Shiosai. I must meet with him to ensure he does not act prematurely and do something we would all regret. He's not going to be happy that we're sticking our noses in this. But to save a life... Well, you know Foxy Games would do anything to save a life. And you are? We've already met. Lady Kurenai, what brings you here? What? My lady, you of all people must realize how incredibly dangerous it was of you to entrust another with our secrets, much less a newcomer whose intentions we know naught of. What other choice did I have? When the seal breaks, we will be forced to drown the palace and all souls within. Would you sooner have me sacrifice my sister and my people than turning to outside help? And you think this woman has some hidden power capable of delivering Suino Sato from untold disaster? I realize it is not in your nature to ask for assistance, but, like it or not, there is little else we could do. No outcome could be worse than losing the Ruby Princess. Even you must realize we only stand to gain by requesting this woman's aid. You have the right of it. Very well. I will give your friend until the next high tide to rescue the princess. If she fails, however, I will destroy the dome, and atone for the deed with my life. Remember, my lady, should it come to this, you shall be the one to inherit the throne. Here, take this scroll. It will permit you to pass into Shisui of the Violet Tides. I presume you are aware of where it is located? Not to worry, I shall show her there. The palace lies just beyond the turquoise trench. Before we leave, however, there is one last thing I must share with you. I was not entirely truthful in everything I've told you. It is nothing that affects our current predicament, but it is nevertheless a lie I mean to set straight once this is over. Forgive me. If it was something I could tell you now, I would. Well, if it doesn't change anything, I suppose it's fine. Whatever happens, please see that no harm comes to the princess. Well, I'll sure try. It's not going to be easy. Oh my god, look at where it is! It's all the way down there. Oh. You know, I thought it was funny enough that chocobos could fly. Now they're swimming. I mean, there are blue chocobos that can swim? Question mark? Well, that looks, definitely looks like a palace. And that would be the entrance. That didn't take as long as I expected it to. How did you get here before me? These are the gates to the palace. Inside are the Ruby Princess and her guards. Thank you, Foxy. Though he might not show it, Shiosai is secretly very grateful to you too. The thought of having to kill the Ruby Princess, however indirectly, has been tormenting him. Now, there is not much time left. Let us make our way in. You have the scroll of entry, correct? Remember, you will be unable to pass through the gates without it. Shisui of the Violet Tides is now accessible. The second dungeon of Stormblood, and we will not waste any time. Alright, welcome to Shisui of the Violet Tides. Let's go ahead and grab these guys and move on. Ow. Stunned. Throw Sheltron on. Yeah, that pull might have been a little big. I dropped a bit low in some parts, so maybe I'll take it a little easier for our lovely, lovely healer. He handled himself quite well, but... This is not a dungeon that I actually do very often. It doesn't come up very often in the roulettes. It's a shame because the gear that comes out of here is beautiful. I don't know where these stupid fish came from. There we go. Alright, first boss time. This guy's got easy mechanics. They're a bit interesting, but they're easy. Okay, we need to kill his leg. Otherwise, he's going to shuck the hell out of our friend. Now that we've knocked him over, his belly is exposed, and he takes more damage. Also, he's going to be spawning in an ad in just a moment. We'll have to burn that down. There it is. Lovely. Alright. He's probably going to cast Shock again soon. Yep. Oh yeah, don't be on people with that marker. And he's just about dead. Lovely. Let's see. Oh, unfortunately, nothing we can use. Or nothing I can use. Maybe one of our other lovely, lovely party members. Ah, and the guards are here. It's a good thing I decided to just do these guys, because they hit hard. Like, that is Mega Owl. I mean, it would also help if the healer wasn't DPSing. Well, I mean, DPSing when he should be healing, I should say. I have no problem with healers who DPS as long as they keep up their healing. Oh, for some reason I was thinking we had no AoE, but no, we've got a Black Mage. Dead. Oh, yes. Yes, please grab that treasure chest. Oh, only crystals? Yeah. Let's get over here so we can take out the archers. Oh, never mind, they ran. Alright, that's fine. I'm hoping they can handle this. They should do. Oh yeah, I knew you could do it. Might have been spoopy, but you did it. Stabbed it. Alright. And, quite interestingly, our next boss is actually the Ruby Princess. And as you can see, she is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I love that outfit. But she is most assuredly possessed by something. Also, get in the box to become old when she uses Seduce. Because, as you all know, it's impossibly seduced if you're old. That is not true. But if she uses Seduce on you, you'll run toward the center, you'll get hit by Coriola's kick, and then you will be deaded. Okay, everybody's old. Very good. Just about one more round and she should be defeated. Why would you lead it over here? Toward me. Oh, she's casting Seduce again. Okay, good. We both got it. And down she goes. Hopefully we didn't just kill her. The whole point was to save her. Wow, not a single piece of gear that we can use. This is disappointing. Well, let's just kill this stupid crab. Oh yeah, there are bomb fish floating around. Ow! That hurts. Fucking goddamn fucking crab. What the fresh hell are these things now? A bald kraken. Is that anything like a bald eagle? I imagine it's not. The door is open and we can move on. Ooh, treasure. I wonder if it's gear. It is indeed. I need that because it's hot. Fuck yeah. That's one of the pieces of gear that I always really liked. Yes, because it's slutty. I don't care. There's another treasure chest over there. Fucking bombfish. Ah, good. This Lalafell knows what's up. Nothing for me. I'm glad I got that one top. Oh yeah. By the way, this thing's fucking gross. It's the most disgusting void scent we've seen so far, I think. Let's go! Insolence! Such insolence will not be tolerated! You shall take a knee in my sanctuary. Well, you are not in charge anymore. And I dare say you probably never were. Okay, these things need to die. Also, you see those ripples on the floor? You don't want to be under that when the last of these dies. Here she comes. come sharks. These sharks hurt a lot. So they need to die. Also, don't look at her when she's casting Mad Stare. Please kill the shark. Thank you. Ow, please heal me. Alright, same as before. Ow, I was too close. Oh well. He's almost dead. I'm getting real good at predicting when she's using that foul nail attack. Okay, and turn. Kill the sharks. It'd be great if somebody limit braked. Oh, really? You limit braked a little too late, buddy. Stay away. Alright. Killed her with a magic cast. Alright. And we did it. Oh god, it's the old box. Yeah, command the healer before they leave. They did very well. Cannot use that. Cannot use that. And, yeah, whatever. Oh yeah. That new armor is still not good. But I got it for glamour. Alright. So we finished up here. I know not how to thank you. You saved them, Foxy. You saved all of them, even the Ruby Princess. While she is unharmed, she is currently unconscious. Shiosai has carried her to Suino Sato, where she might rest undisturbed. It looks as though it will be a while before she wakes. Before we speak any further, however, let us return to the village. Yes, the village, where there is no aetheryte. Well, it would definitely be quicker to just go back to Tamamizu and then swim. Ah, we made it back. I just love the shadows of the fish swimming overhead. Not my chocobo's ass. I was looking for the damn fish. Whatever. Please allow me once again to thank you for your help. You may be happy to hear that the palace guards are all slowly beginning to return to their senses. It seems peace has finally been restored to the palace. You have saved everyone, including Shiosai, from an untimely death. If only the Ruby Princess would open her eyes, Suino Sato would be exactly as it was before. I suppose we must simply be grateful for how well things turned out. Now that the worst of the storm has passed and the tides have begun to calm, it is time that I came clean. Yeah, about that. You said that there was something you had to tell us. Well, normally we wouldn't give a shit about some random quest, but let's at least follow up with this one. The hour of truth is upon us, yet I am just unsure of where to begin. The Ruby Princess, who quietly slumbers on, she... Perhaps this will be easier to explain if you could look upon her as I speak. Please follow me. Okay. Shiosai will be bringing her out shortly. He should be but a few moments longer. Oh, Hisui. Why? Why do you refuse to open your eyes? Foxy, there is something you must know. I am not the Ruby Princess's younger sister. In fact, she has no sister. I am the Ruby Princess, ruler of Sui no Sato. The slumbering girl before you goes by the name of Hisui, and is my dearest friend. We have known one another since childhood. Your Grace, I am entirely to blame. Had I been more prepared, more aware, Lady Hisui would not be in this sorry state. You see, a few days ago we received visitors from the outside. They had come to perform a court ritual. To protect the Ruby Princess from any potential dangers, we decided to conceal her true identity. I had her lady-in-waiting, Hisui, take her place. As she and Her Highness bear a great resemblance to one another, something owing to the fact that they are distant blood relatives, I was confident no one would notice the switch. I was right. That is why, when proceedings commenced, it was Lady Hisui who became possessed by the terrible fiend they summoned, and now, well, you can see for yourself what has become of her. To mitigate such disaster, severe restrictions on who can enter and exit Shisui of the Violet Tides have always been in place. In fact, even the Ruby Princess is forbidden by law to leave its gates. When wraith after wraith began appearing, however, I was left with little choice. I whisked Her Highness away to the village and had her pretend to be the Ruby Princess's sister Kurenai. Kurenai. That was a name I had before my mother passed away, and I assumed the title of Ruby Princess. It was also the name Hisui would call me by growing up. For as far back as I can remember, she was there for me, from the best of times to the worst of times. All the laughter and tears we shared. Hisui, is this truly where it ends? Forgive me, Your Grace. This is my fault. If only there was a way I could go back and prevent all this. Shiosai, there's nothing to forgive. None of us could have predicted this would happen. You are no more to blame for what has happened than I am. Foxy, now you know everything. I hope you do not think any less of me for my lie. Absolutely not. Now that everything here has been settled, I shall be departing from Sui no Sato. The cure to Hisui's condition can only be found above. I know this because, as Ruby Princess, it was my duty to study all available writings at the palace. Very well, Your Grace. Where would you have us go? No, Shiosai. I will be embarking upon this quest on my own. You will be staying here. The people need you to protect them in my absence. Her Grace has made it clear she would have me remain behind. Mistress Foxy, might you accompany her in my stead? While Lady Hisui's body remains, her soul has long departed. I fear that no amount of rest or magics can cure her. I can only hope that in traveling with you it will make it easier for Her Grace to come to terms with the tragic fate of her friend. Until such a time, she must face this truth, however. I ask, nay beg, that you keep her safe. Well, let's go find Kurenai. You are offering to accompany me on my travels? That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you. I shall give you some time to prepare before leaving Suino Sato. Please come find me as soon as you're ready to go. Another earring that we cannot use. And we are going to continue with this quest line because I find it more interesting than the typical random quests. You're ready to depart? Excellent. Let us make for Onokoro. I believe we will best be served by beginning our search there. You see, while we have next to no contact with the outside world, we do receive the occasional visit from the Kojin of the Blue. During one such visit, I was given a tome filled with fairy tales. It was old, worn, and, from what I am given to understand, written in Kugane. In it was a story about a fisherman who sailed the Ruby Sea. While traveling, he came across a princess who had fallen into a years-long slumber. She was eventually awakened upon taking an elixir of some sort. What intrigues me, however, is the fact that many of the places this fisherman visited exist in the real world. It makes me wonder if perhaps this story is rooted in reality. The tale begins in Onokoro. I trust you'll escort me there? Thank you. Now let us depart without any further ado. Oh, is this going to be a big old Little Mermaid reference? I mean, just look at the quest name. A part of your world. Oh, dear. Not that I'm complaining, but still. Full disclosure, I actually haven't done this quest to its completion. I always meant to, but it kind of fell on the wayside when Shadowbringers was a thing. Apologies, my friend, but I will not be able to help you right now. I must give this young lady a tour of our island. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you're just doing it out of the kindness of your heart. So this is Onokoro. It is a lovely place. The people here are incredibly warm. Take this gentleman, for example. As soon as I set foot on the island, he offered to take me on a tour. Yeah, it's because you're fucking beautiful. Jesus. What are you looking at? Get lost. Get lost? Why don't you get lost? Wait a minute, I know you. My comrades talk about you all the time. My apologies, madam. I was only just joking with you, of course. One can never have enough rich or powerful friends. That is why I approached your young charge. Figured if I helped her now, she'd someday return the favor should I ever need it. Yeah, sure, that's why. You were looking to get your dick wet, and you know it. So what brings you to our island? You're looking to learn more about a fairy tale. I know nothing of fairies or tales, but mayhap I can direct you to someone who does. There's a fisherman who visits us once a year to hunt for treasure. Some of the men here say he's as old as the seas themselves. I reckon he, if anyone, would be able to tell you your story. Luckily for you, he just arrived the other day. You should be able to find him at the Quickscape Pier. How convenient. Thank you for your assistance, sir. We will go speak with him right now. Not to worry, little lady. Just be sure to remember my name and pay me back when the time comes. Did you get his name? Foxy, did the kind gentleman ever give us his name? That's funny. Shrug. Without a name, I'm afraid I'll be unable to send him payment for his help. 'Tis terribly unfortunate, but there is little that can be done. Now let us promptly make for Quickscape Pier. We don't want to miss this fisherman. You weren't planning on sending him anything. It seems she found him. Is this the right place? This man looks as though he could be the fisherman the man from earlier mentioned. Well, he certainly looks old. Hello there. Is there something you need? The Tale of the Fisherman in the Ruby Sea. Ah, yes, indeed. It has been a long time since I heard that one. I believe it was my great-grandfather who told me. Or perhaps my great-great-grandfather. Or perhaps my... That's all. We could be rude. It doesn't matter who you heard it from. Just tell us the story already. Or we could be more polite. That is all well and good, sir. But if you could please just tell us the story. Let's be polite. Ah, yes. My apologies. Let us see if I can remember how it went. Oh, I very much hope you've not forgotten it. You might never know the whole tale if you have. The tome I received as a child was so tattered I could read only bits and pieces of the story. I recall now. Once upon a time, there was a fisherman on the island of Onokoro who saved a Kojin of the Blue from the maws of a terrible beast. As thanks, the Kojin offered him a vial of liquid. When taken, it would allow the fisherman to plunge into the far depths of the ocean without drowning. It was there that their journey together began. They visited temples, palaces, and villages under the sea. They met all manner of men, women, and creatures, including a beautiful princess who had fallen into a deep, deep slumber. According to her people, she had been like that for years. Hearing this, the Kojin pulled out another vial containing an ancient Tamamizu potion, which had been passed down to him from his great-grandfather. Or perhaps his great-great-grandfather... To continue with the story, upon being given this mixture, the princess was instantly awakened. The moment their eyes met, she and the fisherman fell in love. They were immediately wed in a palace at the bottom of the sea, where they lived happily ever after. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to recount that regaling tale. It was truly enlightening. Foxy, from what we heard, I can only assume this story took place at Shisui of the Violet Tides. Perhaps we should return to Suino Sato and see if we cannot dig up any mentions of this incident. God, I am almost level 70. Again, thank you very much, sir. You are a man of great wisdom. A man of great wisdom? What a kind young lady. Most people never ask me to tell them stories, and on the rare occasion they do, they complain at length afterward. You seem to also enjoy my tales. If you are interested, maybe someday I can tell you the tale of how my great-great-great-great-grandfather discovered this place. Oh, wow. This guy's more important than he lets on. In the same spot as always, I see. While I know little of what life is like on the surface, it seems to be a lovely place. The people are incredibly kind. Yeah, when you're pretty as fuck like you are. I grew up listening to stories of how pirates would slit your throat the first chance they got, but those on Onokoro seemed rather cordial. Though perhaps I have your presence in part to thank for that. Shiosai shall be joining us shortly. Most stories in Suino Sato are passed down orally. We should be able to tell us if any of our own stories match the tale the fisherman recounted for us. A tale in which a Huron fisherman and a princess were brought together by a Kojin and wed in a palace under the sea. It sounds almost as if it is a story about Shisui of the Violet Tides. Though the part about the Ruby Princess marrying a hire may be something of an embellishment. To the contrary, Your Grace, I believe generations back, a Ruby Princess and a Huron man were once joined in holy matrimony. The son they bore was said to have almost no scales. Until now, I considered it to be merely a tale spun by the elders for their grandchildren, yet it is possible that the story is true. And there is a chance that the remedy also exists. It is not impossible. Your Grace, I must apologize to you. If I were being completely honest, I thought all hope for Lady Hisui's recovery was lost. What you tell me, however, has revived my hope. You are a born leader. Through your actions, you have reversed all our fates. That is incredibly kind of you to say, but without this wonderful lady beside me, we would never have come so far. Indeed. Mistress Games, please accept my deepest thanks. So long as you are here, I can rest knowing that Her Grace and our village will remain safe. Yeah, you're not looking to kick me out now. Now, Your Grace, I suppose you are about to announce your intention to travel to where the Kojin of the Blue reside in search of this miracle cure. I wish you safe travels. Foxy, at long last I can see the light. Hisui might finally be saved. Let's hope. Foxy, are you ready to go? Good, and let us immediately set out for Tamamizu. Suino Sato has for the most part isolated itself from the rest of the world. We have had some little contact with the Kojin of the Blue. This, however, will be my first time visiting their village. You've been there before? Excellent. Then you should be able to show me around. I mean, it's not like I spend a great deal of time there, but sure. Tamamizu, then. And if you think I'm swimming there, you're insane. Tamamizu. It is not so different to that of our own village. Now where should we begin our search for this ancient Kojin remedy? Let's see, ask some of our acquaintances, or find the Kojin who gave you the Book of Fairy Tales. Let's ask some acquaintances. Well, I have met some Kojin during their stay in our village. I'm afraid I cannot recall who any of them are. But wait, perhaps I spoke too soon. The merchant who gave me the tome. If I'm not mistaken, he goes by the name of Inban. Let's go search him out. So in other words, I picked the wrong answer. Whatever. Why give me a choice? I know, it's to make it more interactive. Huh. And who might we have here? It has been many years, so it is difficult to be absolutely sure, but I think this is Master Inban, the merchant I told you about. Inban? That is my name. Do we know each other from somewhere? Does the name Kurenai ring a bell? Kurenai? Yes, I remember now. You are the little girl from the palace. People grow so fast, they do. You have changed so much, I scarcely recognize you. Master Inban, I am glad to see you have not forgotten me. We have sought you out today to ask you something regarding the Book of Fairy Tales you gave me long ago. Ha ha ha, I remember that one. What would you like to know? You are looking to find a cure for your sleeping friend. A most noble cause indeed. I am an avid collector of ancient tomes. In one of them is the exact remedy you speak of, an elixir that can wake those who have fallen into a deep slumber. Truly? Then might you share with me the recipe so I can recreate it? The recipe should be easy to find. The necessary ingredients, on the other hand, not so much. What do you mean? To make this potion requires the shell of a bloated Yumemi, a giant Yumemi that has had over 100 years to mature. Decades have passed since one of these was last spotted. Your only hope now would be to capture a Yumemi larva and wait 100 years for it to grow potent enough to make your cure. No, it cannot be. We will find a bloated Yumemi. You're absolutely right. Just because none have been spotted in recent times does not mean none exist. If we search hard enough, we are certain to come across one. Perhaps it is as you say. If you were to look hard enough, you will find one. If you are serious about this, I would suggest you begin your search in exile. It was formerly considered a prime hunting ground for these creatures. Kelp was often used to lure them out of hiding. Then I shall go and gather some straight away. Good. Gather the most succulent stalks you can find and take them into the cave. If any bloated Umemi are present, they will immediately be drawn to you. Or perhaps you should have this woman here take them. You appear to be as strong as our gatekeeper, you do. No doubt you will be able to make quick work of whatever appears. Foxy, I shall meet you at Exile in a bit, kelp in hand. I don't think we've been to Exile yet. Well, that's perfectly fine. I suppose this is Exile. I made sure to collect the longest and most luscious stalks of kelp I could find. Here. The hunting grounds Master Imban mentioned are in the deep recesses of the cave just over there. From what I gathered, the bloated Umemi's great age is what allows them to accumulate in such an incredible amount of magic, most of which is concentrated in their shell. We can only hope that, should one be here, it will be tempted out of hiding by the sweet smell of its favorite food. Yep, let's go and, find a bloated Umemi. Well, that's a regular Umemi. It's a snail. A naked Umemi, which is basically a slug. Come out and eat. Oh wow, what a surprise, we found one. Hasn't been seen in decades. We find one immediately. Video game logic. But you know, I'm not complaining. Ow. I didn't stun it quick enough. Dead. They make some gross fucking sounds. And their faces are weird. Ah, Turtle's here. A mixture of concern and curiosity brought me here. How is the hunt going? Foxy, Master Imban grew worried and kindly came to check on us. Did you have any luck in the cave? Sure did. This shell of a century-old Umemi has accumulated a prodigious amount of magic. Is this what I think it is? You did it, Foxy. You procured a bloated Umemi shell. Perhaps the very last one in existence, even. So this is the shell rumored to be capable of curing any ailment. It looks nothing like that of a regular Umemi. That you were able to find one so quickly makes me wonder if the bloated Umemi is not as gone as we would think. Mayhap they simply began burrowing deeper into the earth in response to our excessive hunting. I must make up for this grievous miscalculation. Please give me the shell. I shall make you the remedy you seek and deliver it to Suino Sato. It may take some time to prepare, but it should be well worth the wait. Thank you very much. Now Hisui might finally be saved from eternal slumber. I assume these Kojin are good at their word. Foxy, once again I'm in your debt. Together, let us return to Suino Sato that we might share the story of your success with Shiosai. Yeah, I mean, they are merchants. For all we know, he might just run off with it. But I take it the Kojin of the Blue are better than that. Shiosai has been duly informed of all that happened. When I told him of how you slayed the bloated Umemi, his eyes went wide and his mouth dropped. Rarely do I ever see him so surprised. Then again, he has every right to be. Your efforts have allowed Master Imban to set upon making a remedy that should, in theory, have been impossible to recreate. Which reminds me, I believe I owe you an apology. You were only to escort me to Tamamizu, but due to my own inability, you were forced to do so much more than that. Truly, I do not know what I would have done without you. In addition to saving my people, you have opened up my eyes to the world. Through you, I have come to learn so much. When I finally return to Shisui of the Violet Tides and reassume my role as the Ruby Princess, I shall look back fondly upon the memories we created together on this grand adventure. Until such a time that Hisui awakens, however, I shall remain here. I sorely hope that you shall too. Maybe. We have to see this through to the end, of course. Foxy, Master Inban has yet to arrive with the elixir, but we must not allow ourselves to grow impatient. He will come to us as soon as it is ready. The longer we wait, however, the more I worry about Hisui. Shiosai assures me she's doing well and that, thanks to one of our own ancient remedies, her bones and muscles remain strong. Even so, I feel compelled to confirm this with my own eyes. Let us go to her. Back up, then. Right over here. I'm having her brought from her room. It should not be much longer. Looking upon her, I am reminded of the Ruby Princess from the fairy tale. What causes you to continue sleeping, my friend? Initially, I'd feared the void scent that possessed her had driven her soul from her body. Now I suspect Hisui's spirit has simply gone dormant. It is attempting to recuperate from the trauma it endured. Master Inban's elixir will likely restore what vitality has been lost. Indeed, that is correct. Master Inban, I have brought the elixir. In the olden days, we would sprinkle this over the eggs that refused to hatch. It would serve to strengthen the soul of the Kojin within. Sprinkle? Do you mean to say Hisui does not need to drink this remedy to recover? Drink it? There is no need for that. All we need to do is pour this over your friend. Here, I made plenty. Hisui! You're awake. Thank the Kami, you're finally awake. I'm sorry for everything. Princess, what are you talking about? She doesn't remember. To think that you had to travel so far and overcome so many obstacles to save me. I know not how to thank you. Nay, 'tis I who must thank you. Think nothing of it, Princess. As your lady-in-waiting, it is my duty above all else to ensure that you're protected. Oh, Hisui, truly I am blessed to have you in my life. The girls, they are identical. I cannot for the life of me tell them apart. Except for the hair. Indeed, there is a great resemblance. Mistress Games, now that Lady Hisui has awakened, her grace must return to the palace and resume her duties there at once. While I will ask that you say your farewells to her here, I do hope that this is not the last you will see of each other. I have watched her grace blossom into an intelligent and capable young lady under your care. It has made me think that being sequestered in the castle is not the best way to raise our rulers. You saved us in more ways than I can count and taught us so much. Suino Sato was forever changed because of you. Thank you. Thank you for everything. So it is here that our grand adventure draws to a close. I, however, would like to enjoy your company for just a bit longer. Please allow me to escort you to the gates. Well, I suppose we can do that much. We must return to the palace soon. For the people to learn that the Ruby Princess left the palace, we will risk losing their trust. I mean, you could always explain to them what happened. I shall forever cherish my memories of our travels together. Whenever I look back upon them, they will fill my heart with a serene happiness. You came from afar and braved the depths of the sea, all so that you might rescue a sleeping princess. The story has a familiar ring to it, does it not? Indeed. And just as with the tale of the fisherman, mayhaps someone somewhere has recorded our story too. Yeah, me. The player. Sadly, this is where I must part ways with you. It is time for me to return to the palace. Farewell, Foxy. Farewell, Suino Sato. Or rather, until next time. With me to take Her Highness's place while she is away, I do not imagine it should be too hard for her to sneak out whenever she pleases. Even Shiosai has difficulty telling us apart. All we need to do is exchange clothes and no one will be any the wiser. To prove my point, here's a quick test for you. Look very closely and tell me, am I Kurenai or am I Hisui? Nah, you're Kurenai. Haha, if you thought you could tell us apart by our clothes, you were mistaken. Just earlier we swapped garb, and I am in fact Hisui. Are you really? I thought their faces were just a bit different, but I guess not. Despite the numerous journeys we embarked on together, it seems even you cannot tell us apart. Hisui, let us leave it at that. I think perhaps we've teased Foxy enough for one day. Oh, wait. It's not really her, is it? Oh, jeez. Just as you have guessed, I am the real Kurenai. Yep. You always were incredibly perceptive. I knew their faces looked just a little different. Now, truly, this is why I must leave you. Life is a long and winding journey, and I am certain our paths will cross once again in the future. Until then, I ask that you keep on smiling and maintain that wonderful disposition of yours. Fare thee well, my friend. So long, Lady Kurenai. And so ends a quest that I really didn't expect to want to follow up on in this playthrough, but I'm sure glad I did. It was a sweet little thing, it was. And that is going to bring us to the close of this episode. I hope you enjoyed that little diversion from the main story. I sure did. In the next episode, we will continue on with said main story and see what we can do about the Red Kojin. I know we really didn't do a whole lot relating to that in this episode. I do apologize. But we'll get back on track very soon. Until then, my name is Foxy Games. You all take care of yourself. Bye.